have with me Mr. Ashutosh Sharma, who is Global HR Head with Pearl Global Industries Limited. Hi, Ashutosh.
Hi, Mukul. Good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. Self is Ashutosh and look forward to meet most of you out here after this session.
So today's session is mostly about leveraging technology. It's a small session. So let me quickly ask Ashutosh a couple of questions to understand as a global HR practitioner, how is leveraging technology. So Ashutosh, how do you suggest to leverage technology for your globally spread workforce? You are present in 5 continents, 5 countries in Southeast Asia with very large manufacturing workforce. So if you can give us some insight on how you have planned to leverage technology for them.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I guess this session has a lot of contemporary as well as a futuristic value. And what I intend putting up my thoughts is not limited to the organization which I'm working currently, but also a larger landscape when it comes to the word dispersed. So that can be nationally dispersed or internationally dispersed. And when we talk about the larger workforce, which are into the Indian subcontinent or maybe the Asia Pacific MENA region, see, technology to me is the first thing which comes to my mind is the binding force. So it's the glue to any organization in order to really leverage on the time, cost, and quality efficiencies in their existing system. So in nutshell, if I have to give you a motherhood statement, this is what comes to my mind, and that is what I've experienced and exposed myself to. But beyond this, there is much more to this thought and this story. So for my organization and with my experience, I believe that for the larger dispersed workforce, there are 3 key parameters which technology can serve for any other organization. So the first one and the foremost one is the purpose of your organization. That how this, for what we are existing and what is that as the individual purpose of a employee, that certainly can be made much more elaborated, much more clear to the workforce which is globally dispersed. Second comes as the brand. A well-leveraged technology can certainly enthuse a lot of momentum to your existing brand. It can really add on to a lot of brand value which is there, which will definitely in turn will help you, both business-wise as well as in terms of the HR subdomains to attract talent and all. And the foremost is the culture piece of it. So in my current organization with our presence in ASEAN and APAC, what I'm able to do with technology is to create a Pearl One culture, as I call it. And it also gives employees a kind of a faith that yes, there is something which is impartial, which is present as a platform on which they can bank upon. So these are 3 key notes which comes to my mind when I look forward to leverage technology for a largely globally diversified or a globally spread workforce, Mukul.
Thank you. So my next question will be that how to penetrate technology and solution at the bottom of the pyramid to leverage on large demographic workforce potential which you have. So what do you do there? If you can give us some insights in your practices which you have adopted.
So see, this is something interesting, Mukul. I myself is very bullish on actually for the penetration of technology to the bottom of the pyramid, because largely what I see and what I've seen in the last 15 odd years is that yes, technology has taken a front foot, but it is largely limited to the top and the middle management cadre. We seldom in the sector which I am, which is manufacturing, and also other sectors which I worked into of construction and oil and gas and other major core sectors, I personally believe that technology is so not deeply penetrated to the bottom of the pyramid. And if we have to really achieve the vision of being a manufacturing hub globally, it is inevitable for us to really expose our bottom of the pyramid workforce, which generally we call a blue collar or gray collar, to the technology piece which we are using at the top of the pyramid. So I call it that if to have the actual demographic dividend of the existing workforce potential, we really need to have technology going down, deep down. So 2 very, very basic factors which currently I am working on is to assess on a day-to-day basis and a monthly basis the mobile penetration in my manufacturing units. And also to work with the technology partners like Honu and many others in order to develop small technology solutions in order to take care of their, day-to-day issues, take care of the larger business issues in terms of, uh, you know, building efficiencies by reducing pilferages of time, pilferaging, or maybe it's about cascading your best practices from, which is still middle management, to the last level or the last man on the ground. So I strongly believe that it's the high time, the next decade I personally see would be of for workforce, and whosoever will be able to master this, whether it is a technology provider or it's an organization, would actually be reaping out the dividends in the actual business sense also. So in connect to this, there's something, Mukul, I'm taking this opportunity to really, disturb the note of the discussion. See, it's very important. Last 1.5, 2 years, I've been doing a lot of due diligence of multiple products across multiple subdomains of HR. We have come across some fantastic technology based on all the big jargons of IoTs and the AIs and the ML and other things. But what worries me is that it's just a very fast-changing VUCA world, which we call up in business, with macro indicators changing faster than the micro indicators. I want to understand from Mukul, from you, that what is your plan as a technology integrator or a service provider to upgrade your technology with this kind of a fast pace?
No, definitely, it's a very valid question coming from the one of the global practices head, uh, using technology to the ultimate objective. See, this is, I can answer on behalf of all my friends here that how a technology is built up. It is not a rocket science. It takes some time and patience to groom a technology. Uh, when it comes to serving a purpose, you have to take a lot of inputs and feeds from people in the entire ecosystem, which is with whom you are engaged and working. So we work very closely with research institutes or academia like XLRI and other institutions, which give us a lot of insights into emerging requirements of the function. Then we work with associations like SHRM and Great Place to Work, where we get a lot of time to time insights on what next is to be taken up. Plus, of course, our clients, they are our, I think, biggest mentors from time to time to help us to gain understanding on what needs to be built up in the technology to solve certain problems which they face. And last note, but not the least, it is our friends and competitors, our teams, mentors, HR practitioners with whom we engage from time to time. They give us a lot of understanding on the requirements. So it's a pretty well-defined process, and over a period of time, this has matured, and it matures with any kind of a product company, whether in the HR space or whether in any other domain. The specialization comes from the practitioners, what I believe, where I think we get a lot of help from people like you who have given us and given the industry large understanding on the requirements from time to time.
So that's interesting, Mukul. Also, I just want to also share a thought process around that this complete technology market per se is getting very crowded day by day. But ultimately, as a organization which has a need of technology, what I personally believe is we seldom have partners who are actually the value chain integrators end to end. We have some fantastic solutions, standalone solutions. And in past, having experienced those standalone solutions, the success rate was not that high. So there was a core, technology platform on which we tried to bank upon and piggyback a lot of standalone modules to cater for maybe its attraction of talent or learning management system or performance management systems and many other of so on. But what I've realized is that in this particular crowded space, any organization which comes with a technology which caters for the end-to-end value chain for an organization, and that is globally spread organization, would certainly will make the difference to organizations like ours. And in true sense, then only I would call it as that technology will play a role wherein we can actually have some kind of a business sense, that is money, some kind of efficiency sense, which is an indirect time or quality parameters, which certainly would make business sense to the overall organization. And only then I would call, what I should say is that faith of the promoters or the management or the board would come to onboard such technology initiatives through CHROs and the HR heads globally.
I fully agree, and I think we are coming to end of the session. So thanks, Ashutosh, for your views, and uh, I think we can take the questions offline if any of you have. We'll be here around. Thank you. Thanks a lot.